So I was born with the squint. I was 10 years old when I got my first set of glasses, and I was 18 years old when I got my corrective surgery for my squint. The confidence of who I was as a teenager versus an adult had literally tenfold. When I was much younger in my teenage life, I became slightly aggressive. So if somebody had to say anything to me, like remotely anything that looked like it was negative, my tongue would tear them apart. In fact, at one stage I had gone as far as having a young fist fight with somebody. Why? Because I was angry. Like, how dare you say something like that to me, was my thing that I was holding at that time. After the corrective surgery, I must admit, it took a while for me to get used to the fact that what my eyes looked like for all my life had changed. And yet I could still see the same things. And I wondered, why was it so deep in me, so deeply rooted? And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that sometimes we get so scared of life, we get so scared to start anything, we get so scared to do anything that we feel like, oh no, the world should stop. And that's what I realized. I was afraid to do so many different things. I was too scared of what people are going to say about my squint. And in today's video, I'm going to share a little bit more about that and actually just take it into our adult lives on why we get so scared to do some stuff based on other people's opinions, and we don't even get to where we are wanting to go. Can you imagine the ridiculousness? Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack. On my channel, I generally talk about two things: property investing and life hacks. So I found that this challenge I had about being squint was so much more ingrained in my mind. I had so many stories that I told myself that actually got me to a point where I wasn't moving forward. In fact, I don't even understand where it had come from, because my friends around me, my family around me, as well as those that I'd gone to church with, never made me feel less than. It would be an odd bully or two that would, say something like totally directly, and it would sit in my heart and linger on for days. And I must tell you, that particular feeling lingered on the most in me, because I worried that what if I start a new business and I need to do any sort of maybe video marketing, or if there's pictures that I need to be involved in, how do I navigate this path where in my mind I know my squint is better than it was growing up? Okay, I know that I've overcome, I know that I've got all this confidence, but what if there's that one person that says something to me that lingers on in my little heart, and I just think to myself, well, I don't think I'm going to do that. That's not for me. I don't think it's going to happen. And that was also much the same when I started my YouTube channel. I did it afraid, thinking, well, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be talking about my experiences in and around property investing, because when I started in property investing, there weren't much South Africans that were in property investing that I could follow. So there's a lot of methodologies that I learned from overseas somewhere, whether it be the UK or the USA or wherever it was, and then I would bring some of the concepts to life while I was doing my own practicals on the ground, actually understanding more about property investing. And you know what? There was this thing that happened here, just here, that said, what if people don't look at your YouTube channel, right, because you've got a squint? And I just started realizing so many times in life we are scared to do the things that we love because of that one comment that may linger on in our hearts, that one comment that could totally throw us. And then life happened. I then realized I had more people rooting for the fact that I was sharing from my experiences, that I even did go out as far as to start teaching it, because I was quite bullied into it. I was like, Jen, I want to do what you're doing, and I don't want to go there. I want to learn it from you. And I'm like, but I'm not teaching it. No, Jen, I want to learn it from you. And I'm like, but I'm not teaching it. And I would be out there doing the most in property investing, particularly around the wholesaling strategy. And then I would have others say, I want to learn from you. And that made me stand still. because they saw past my squint. They saw past what I thought was inadequacy. They saw past what I was scared of looking at. Just in case this side of social media, some troll is going to say something. But guess what? The trolls did come. There were a couple of snarky comments from people when I would advertise. In fact, it was not even a couple of days ago I'd seen on a Facebook ad where I'm doing a collaboration with a property investing partner, and somebody made this comment. But the nicest thing happened inside. I smiled. Why? Because I realized there's other people on that very same advert that don't even know me from a bar of soap jumped onto the person that made a snarky comment around my squint. And then I thought, well, you know what? There are going to be people that protect us through our journey. There are going to be strategies that we do that people are interested in that goes far beyond the thing that we are scared of. And I'm wondering right now where you're sitting. What is it that you are scared of? What is it that you said to yourself, you know, I'm so scared to start this thing because of? And, you know, I would say I'm too scared to be on video marketing because of my squint. But here I am, shame, a whole YouTube channel. And that doesn't make me afraid. Why? Because I had to get over the fact that one nasty comment pales in comparison to everybody else that's going to jump into the wagon saying, hey, don't say that. We all have got our things, and this chick is out there doing the most. And that's when I think, you know what, there are still good people out there. So maybe there's people that are waiting to have your back for this thing that you are too scared to talk about or to share, right? And here you are sitting thinking, I'm not doing it. And it's 3 years later and you start seeing Mang Mang come up from nowhere and they doing it. And then you start seeing, hey, my baby cousin is doing things like I should be doing. I should be an example to them. So in my today's video, I really want to encourage you. Whether you want to get started in property investing or get started on a YouTube channel, get started in the thing that you really love. You will be scared anyway. But how's about you do something afraid? Because there's going to be people like myself rooting for you in property investing, saying, just like I was in debt, but somebody stood behind me and said, you know what, I'm going to teach her anyway. I was in a space where I felt like there was no coming back in life, in my credit record, in money, in nothing. And yet, these last 4 years have shown me that people are going to be there to support me through all my stuff, bigger and bolder. And right now, I've got 3 income streams. How about that person that spoke about my squint? Where are they? How far did that comment get them? Was it just for a fleeting moment? Now I want to ask you, yes, I was scared. I still carried that fear a very long time until I had to see people root for me. So how far are you in that thing? How far do you want to get in that thing? And that really is my biggest thing today. We're rooting for you and we're waiting for you to be in your purpose. Just as others were waiting for me to pick up my mantle, to learn a lot more about property investing, to do these creative finance methods like joint ventures and wholesaling, which others will also call sourcing. They were waiting for me to pick up that mantle so that they can look and say, Jen, I want to learn from you. So that was part of the DNA I didn't plan, but life planned it for me, that I gotten into this place, hounded into doing some sort of training and coaching around what I had to overcome. And that's where I find the beauty of life, is the things that we have to overcome are the things that we will be remembered for a very long time. So maybe somewhere out there, somebody's also sitting with a squint. Maybe they then said, well, surely I can start my YouTube channel if that chick whose squint may just be worse than mine is up there doing the most. Why can't I? So being in a space like that, you ask yourself, why can't I? So if you want to get started in property investing, I'd like to welcome you to go down in the description below. There's training for 3 hours free on my website. We did it at the beginning of the hard lockdown in 2020. And I did this in a Facebook group that I had once had. I've since closed it down because it was just a learning ground, a temporary learning ground where I just was teaching a lot of people for free. I ran competitions so people can learn for free, but they needed to give something to get, you know what I mean? So not everything is always for free. So I want to welcome you to go down in the description below. And if you say, you know what, Jen, I like the short videos, I've actually got a playlist up here that I will put up here that's called Getting Started in Property Investing. Why don't you pop in there and see some of the videos on some of the stuff that you've been waiting to hear about. I speak about all different property investing strategies and how to work through that, some of the mistakes that I've made and what you can do to get started. So will I see you down in the training or up here in the playlist?